And it is a Friday. It's the 15th day of January, 2021. And as we have done since, I believe, March of last year, we're getting an update on the COVID-19 situation in the Imperial Valley. And today with a little bit of a switch. Because, well, we're not so much going to talk about the disease, but we're going to talk about some help for the backbone of Imperial Valley, and we're talking about business. With us on the phone today, socially distancing, Esperanza Colio-Warren, Deputy Chief Executive Officer for Imperial County. Good morning, Esperanza.
Good morning.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Yes, happy Friday to all.
Okay. Now, we're getting the information from the health department, from the local hospitals, the healthcare providers about the COVID-19 situation. And one thing that, doesn't really get overlooked, but not enough attention is paid to the business community. And as a small businessman, as Kxo is, our lifeblood is the small local businesses in the Imperial Valley, and they are hurting. But you've got a way to help them a bit, don't you?
Yes, sir. So the Board of Supervisors, as you may recall, a few weeks ago, gave the direction, provided the CEO, our county CEO, Tony Rojoras, the authority to distribute some of the coronavirus relief funds allocation. And so my boss came out with 3 different programs to assist not just the businesses, but also families that were affected by the coronavirus, by those who lost their jobs or the work hours were reduced. And so he came out with 3 different programs. The electricity assistance, which we have been working with the Imperial Valley Irrigation District to identify eligible families, and the water and sewer assistance program, which is an effort coordinated with the cities and the special districts that provide sewer and water, and the business grant, which is a grant of up to $10,000 for those businesses that can provide information or proof that they have been affected by the coronavirus. So those 3 programs have been successful programs so far. And today we're going to focus more or less on the businesses. I just want to mention that for me, businesses have been the real fighters during the coronavirus because in speaking with them, you can tell how much they're struggling to keep their businesses, the investment, the way of living up to date. So it's been heartbreaking to hear their stories. So as of today, we have received more than 200 business grants applications, of which 120 has been processed, meaning we already delivering the checks to them. Actually, my boss is the person that is delivering in person those checks to them. And so we have about more or less 80 more to process. And the reason why it's taking us a little bit longer is because the funding requires that we provide some sort of documentation or proof that they were affected by COVID-19, by the coronavirus and the stay-at-home orders. So we continue doing the review. We foreseen that a lot of them, most of them, if not all, are going to be approved in the next week. In addition to that, we also have the families with assistance from the electricity, about 250 applications, and of which 154 have been approved, which I think is great. We continue contacting the businesses to provide us additional information that justifies the effects of the coronavirus and the stay-at-home orders. And I would like to share with you some of the stories. As a county employee, we never get to talk to the businesses the way that we talk to them during this pandemic. And I don't know if you have enough time, but just to give an idea, for me, they are real fighters because they are trying to provide you as much information to show you how much they were affected and we're talking about mostly retail businesses, like those businesses that have to close their doors, like restaurants, barbershops, services that they usually provide, cosmetics, hair salons, things like that. It's been very difficult for them, and you can tell when they provided you with the information. You can tell the struggles that they have. There's business, and I don't know if it's appropriate, but I'm not going to mention any names. But this business person has 2 life insurances, and it was forced to sell one of the life insurances just to be able to pay the rent. So they don't want to lose their business. So this business said, I need to keep up with my business, and I don't have any more money. I don't know where to go anymore. So this person sold her life insurance and provided feedback with that, and then able to pay for the bills. And then you see the real struggle that you have. Another business, they were borrowing money from friends, borrowing money from themselves, from their savings, so they can keep up with their rent and the utilities, hoping that the pandemic goes away and that they can go back to business. And so I just want to share those stories that are heartbreaking to see how they're struggling. And I don't know if anyone is aware, we had this grant open, this application process open for about 10 days, and in 10 days we received more than 200 applications. So that just gives you an idea of how much needs are in the business area.
Okay, you are still accepting applications?
Not as of today. However, the CEO will working with the numbers again, trying to figure out other ways to assist the community. He's very community-oriented, very business-oriented, and so he's trying to see if there's a possibility to continue providing assistance. I'm not able to tell you whether or not this is a decision made, but I know for sure that he's doing his best to try to assist the community, and not just the community, but also the businesses.
Well,
so we will have more information, more updated information at a later time. For now, we're trying just to complete the process of the pending applications. And the goal is not to deny anyone. The goal is to work with them so they can provide us enough proof, because, as I mentioned before, this funding is coming from the federal government through the state, and we are required to provide proof that they were affected by coronavirus and the stay-at-home orders. So that's our goal. We're trying to pay attention to the businesses, listen to them, how do they do their business, so that we can give them ideas of how to provide that information.
Okay, and as you pointed out, the money is coming from Washington, going to Sacramento, and then filtering down to the Imperial Valley. There's already been plans announced by the president-elect with a $3 billion program that may, after the change in administration, open up some more money. We'll just kind of have to wait and see, won't we?
Yes, that is correct. And if there's anything more available, I'm sure the Board of Supervisors will provide direction to the CEO to make those decisions, to maybe open again the opportunity for businesses to continue applying. We don't know at this point. I'm not directly know exactly how it's going to work. Some people, they have said that the funding is going to go for specific items, not necessarily for the businesses, or they're going to do the businesses directly through the SBA. But the SBA provide loans. In this case, our Board of Supervisors and the CEO decided to make it a grant for the businesses.
One of the
provide the information.
Yeah, one of the issues with the loan is you got to pay it back. And with a grant, if you meet the requirements and the conditions, it is a grant. You do not have to pay it back as long as you abide by the rules, right?
Exactly. And I can tell you, for example, that we have businesses that have provided us with this payment from rent that they owe from months of rent. There are businesses located at the mall that they have a debt of about $80,000 in debt that they cannot pay. They're not even open to make a a profit so they can pay for those rents. So it's a real struggle for the businesses.
Right. And as I pointed out, KXO, AM 1230, FM 107.5, we are local, we are a small business, and the lifeblood of our business is the local small businesses in the Valley, and we get to see that struggle firsthand as well. And especially in the Valley, where we do not really have a big, huge corporate placement, it's the small businesses that drive the economy.
Right. And I can tell you more or less that as of today, about 44% of those businesses they apply for the funding are from the city of El Centro, 18% from the city of Raleigh, and 24% from the city of Calexico. And that makes the 86% of the businesses located in only those three cities. The rest of the applications are coming from different places in Imperial County, from Calipatria, from Nyland, from Salton City. But it's just amazing how those businesses have been struggling to survive. But they don't want to give up. That's what I call them, fighters, because they're really trying to survive. And restaurants, as you know, they have been able to sell to pickups, but even then, you can tell the difference in the revenues before and during the coronavirus. So you can tell the loss of revenue that they have.
Yes.
So we are just hoping that there will be additional funding so that we can continue working with them.
Okay. We appreciate it. And information is available on the Imperial Caddy website, right?
Yes. Well, the deadline for this application is closed. We're just finalizing the current applications. But if additional funding is available, please check our website for updates and our Facebook webpage, because if anything comes along for additional assistance, it will be available on the county's website as well as the Facebook website.
Okay. Esperanza, we appreciate the visit. And I know there's a weekend coming up, but weekends just kind of roll into everything else anymore with, no place to go and nothing to do for the most part. But you stay safe and, keep moving in the right direction.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Esperanza Colio-Warren, Deputy Chief Executive Officer for Imperial Caddy, with an update on the grant program for business.